Torah portion, Toldos. The Torah tells us in detail of the stirring episode of the giving, of the endowing of the blessings from Isaac to his son Jacob. Torah tells us that when Jacob came into the room, he approached his father and kissed him. At that point, Isaac declared, "I smell the fragrance of my son's garments." What is that fragrance? And our great commentaries explain it was the fragrance of the Garden of Eden. And what Isaac was able to see was the spiritual elevation, the spiritual holiness of his son Jacob, and therefore he endowed him with the blessings. There's another beautiful interpretation about what happened from the Medrash. The Medrash explains that that word, begodov, which is garments, also is similar to another Hebrew word, bogdov, rebels. And when the Torah says that Isaac smelled the fragrance of the garments, there's an allusion. He smelled the fragrance of the rebels. He was able to see into the future and be able to see the greatness of the rebels within the Jewish people. The Medrash proceeds to tell the following episode, that there was a common Jew named Yosef Meshisa, and this took place at the time, the tragic time of the destruction of the Second Temple. And the Romans had conquered Jerusalem, and they didn't want to be the first ones to go into the temple. Perhaps, maybe for sport, they wanted to see a Jew go in there first. And they made a declaration, I mean, we need a volunteer, a Jew to go into the temple and take out whatever you come out with, you will be allowed to keep. This Jew, Yosef Meshisa, volunteered, and he comes out with the golden menorah. The Romans looked at it, and they said, "You are a commoner. This golden candelabra, this is royalty. You can't have this. Go in again, and you can have whatever you take out." And he refused. All of a sudden, a feeling of terrible remorse overtook him, and he refused to go in. And the Romans offered him a tremendous amount of money if he goes in, and he refused. And then they proceeded to torture him, and he screamed out, "I have angered my God once, and I will not anger my God again." And they tortured him to death. The Rosh Yeshiva, my Rabbi of blessed memory, asked, what happened to Yosef Meshisa? All of a sudden, he's a rebel. He doesn't care about going into the holy temple, defiling the holy of holies. And then all of a sudden, he's ready to die at the hands of the Romans. What happened? What gave him the strength? And the Rosh Yeshiva pointed out it is this spark, the spark within every Jew, that in one moment could be ignited and make a complete transformation within the person. That's what our father Isaac saw, and then he endowed the blessings to the future generations of our people. Yes, we've heard this before. A spark within each and every Jew. But is it just an expression? It's a question to ask each and every one of us, to ask ourselves, how do I feel about this spark? Do I realize that this spark is within me? Because if I do, then I can begin to perceive my own spiritual strength and my own spiritual potential. The spark within every Jew is not just an expression. It's real. It's there. And if we think about it and realize that we have it within us, then we can propel ourselves constantly from strength to strength. Have a beautiful Shabbos.